welcome to Championship Wrestling. I'm Gordon Soley, and
Lance Russell right here. By golly, we got a good group with us here today, and they're looking forward to some outstanding action. I think we've got it today, too. I'll tell you what, we're going to be meeting for the very first time Troy Graham, the Dream Machine, and the Interns. We haven't seen them on Championship Wrestling, Gordon, and we're going to be taking a look to them.
Well, Troy, of course, is still on that disabled list, but taking up managing now.
Had some problems, of course, with his ankle in a match a good many times. Well, we'll, I'm sure, be talking to Troy and find out what he's doing and what this Interns thing is. In addition to that, Eddie Gilbert, the International Heavyweight Champ, will be here for a match. And we have plenty of other things, including we'll be taking a look at one of the fans' favorites. We're talking about the Fabulous One.
Yeah, they're upcoming a little bit later on in the program. And, of course, we'll also be seeing a situation that occurred between Rick Rude and King Kong Bundy with short but devastating results.
Okay, I'll tell you what we better do. If we're going to get all this in, we better take time out right now and get on it. We'll be back right after we take time out for this.
Pizza Hut's got this great offer, a Care Bear sticker book for only 49 cents with any pizza.
Look, Mom, here's Care Bear.
Yes, dear. Kids love them. They're full of stickers and pages to color.
Mom, there's good luck there.
That's nice. They're 2 books, Caring and Sharing and Play It Safe.
Mom, more Care Bear.
That's fine, dear. But remember, Care Bears are only make-believe. Thank you.
The Care Bear sticker books, only at Pizza Hut.
Celebrate Service Merchandise Founders' 50th anniversary with terrific holiday savings. Like this blood pressure kit with digital readout. It's from Polinex, now only $49.94. And here's a great gift. The compact Canon Type Star 5 typewriter, now on sale. You'll find all the top name brands for less, including the Fuzzbuster Superhet radar detector, now on sale during our Founders' 50th anniversary at Service Merchandise.
This is my new Celebrity. What a great car. Just picked it up from my Chevy dealer. You know, it's got the same body as old Sierra or the Buick Century, but my Celebrity costs $1,200 less than the olds and nearly $1,300 less than the Buick. I could have sprung for the extra bucks, but what for? I got other places to spend my money.
Chevy Celebrity at your Memphis area Chevy dealers. Isn't it great to love a car you can afford?
I need a new TV, now!
Hello, Remco. I want a really nice stereo. Hello, Remco.
Call now and say hello to Remco. Get the brand name TV or stereo you want today with our easy and affordable rental purchase plan.
Rent?
I'd rather own.
You can. At Remco, all your rent applies to ownership. You don't need credit, service is free, and you're never obligated to keep renting. Hello, Remco.
Hello.
We'll deliver your new TV or stereo today.
Okay, as we indicated a little bit earlier, we have with us, I think, a lot of people remember the Dream Machine.
Yeah, a lot of people remember the Dream Machine, baby. I had a match March 28th in Nashville, Tennessee, baby, and I got my ankle broken. I've been going downhill ever since, you understand what I'm saying? Eddie Marlin, he is yet to ever call me. Jerry Jarrett, you never called me. Nobody ever called me. Jimmy Hart, yeah, he called me once, twice. But then it started fading away, baby, and I called him. I said, hey, Hart, I'm hungry, man. I'm broke. I need to work, baby. He said, hey, Dream, I can't use you, man. I call Eddie Marlin. He says, hey, baby, I can't use you. Call me when you get well. So what am I supposed to do, man? What am I supposed to do? I made 3 trips to the doctor, 3 surgeries, baby, in Nashville, Tennessee, and I was all so happy, and I was going to get my cast off, and I was going to be ready to wrestle again, and then what happened? The doctor looked at me, and he said, Troy, he said, I'm sorry, son, but your wrestling days are over. And then I sat there and I looked at my wife and I looked at myself and I said, baby, hey, don't get mad, Dream Machine. You get even, baby, and I have got even with 500 pounds of romping, stomping, graveyard destruction. My interns right here, baby, is going to do all the talking for me from now on, and I'm going to be right there in their corner to see what's going on. Now, what do you think about that, Lance?
I'll tell you what I think about it.
Where was you at last time when I was out here? Where was you at? Did you have to go to an AA meeting or what?
Listen, you're sitting in a situation right here that is not too different than a lot of people, and maybe it's because of the attitude that you've got about it, feeling sorry and all of that, that people didn't want to be around you and couldn't use you.
Yeah, well, that sounds like something that you would come up with, baby, but I guarantee you one thing. When you get your foot broke like me for 7 months and you're laid up in the bed and you're on food stamps and you're on welfare, all they want to know is, what have you done for me lately, baby? And I got news for you. You have done nothing, Eddie Marlin. You have never called me Jerry Jarrett. You have never called me Jerry Lawler. Nobody has ever called me.
Wait a minute. Where did the interns come from? You're out here with a brand new team.
That's for me to know and you to find out, brother. Hey, that's for me to know and you to find out. If you're not the IRS, Internal Revenue, you don't need to know, brother.
Well, if that's the attitude about it, Dream, we wanted to talk to you.
What kind of attitude would you have, Lance Russell, if your foot was broken, your wife was hungry? What kind of attitude would you have, baby? I got news for you. It's going to be a lot of hell take place around here, baby, and I got news for you. The Interns and the Dream Machine is going to do it. Let's go get it.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I certainly hope that I don't end up with an attitude like that. We're ready to get back to the ring, I think, Gordon.
Indeed we are, and let's turn it over to Dave right now.
All right, thank you, Lance and Gordon. We're waiting for the arrival of the opponents of the Interns. Here they come, both of them out of Louisville, Kentucky. The referee is here, and we are just about ready to get underway with a one-fall, 15-minute time limit match. Introducing, first of all, at a total weight of 502 pounds, from parts unknown, with their manager, Troy Graham, the Dream Machine, the Interns. Their opponents, saying howdy to the crowd here, at a total weight of 460 pounds, both out of Louisville, Kentucky, Steve Constant and Tim Ashley. This match, one fall, 15-minute time limit. Jerry Calhoun, the referee.
Okay, it is Constant and Ashley. I call them the Louisville Sluggers, moving out against this team of the Interns, and the Interns are a big, powerful-looking combination, no question about that. And the Interns moving out against them, down for a single-leg ankle sweep, but back out, see what happens. Beautiful spin under takedown, another spin under takedown. And so the Interns tagging up pretty quickly, and he too was caught in another spin under. And the complaining about the trunks and the mask being pulled, neither was the case, I might add. Ashley and Constant tagging up. Good, the wing over. Closes right in on his man once again. Now, Constant and Ashley giving away a lot of poundage here. Irish whip off the rope, missed with that elbow. Coming off, good cross body block. Excellent move. So the Louisville Sluggers looking extremely well against the Interns. The interesting thing about Troy Graham, and he was complaining about being on food stamps, did you take a look at the gold he's wearing? The man couldn't be too poor if he's carrying all that gold on him. Missed again with that elbow coming off the... Ooh! High. Spear and down across the chest now. Louisville Sluggers in trouble here. They both catch him coming off the ropes. The Interns double teaming very quickly and drives a knee into the chest. Constant and Ashley in trouble here as the Interns begin to dominate the situation. Double teaming again. They stop him midway into the ring, driving a boot right into that abdominal wall. Put to the canvas once again, and it is again the Interns tagging up, and the Interns. Well, I'll tell you what, I got to say one thing for Troy Graham. He has got a devastating combination here in the Interns, no question about it. Catching onto those ropes now, and it is the tag again. Ooh. Using the back of the elbow very effectively under the chin. And again, the tag is made, and so Constant and Ashley tag up. And this young man giving him some comeuppance here now, but he's Cut from behind momentarily, an Irish whip off the ropes. Catches him, and he took about 270 pounds into the air that time. Another Irish whip caught him into a high backdrop. Oh, wait a minute, outside the ring, a pile driver onto the concrete. And he's got him, and he looks like he's going to go for another one. Another pile driver. And the team of Constant and Ashley in all kinds of trouble here. That vertebrae being jammed. And I don't know whether this man... Brother, you talk about carnage. These interns have instituted carnage on both Constant and Ashley. Jamming his head into the turnbuckle once again. While his partner took 2 pile drivers out on the concrete, and now they're double teaming on him. Referee Jerry Calhoun tolling the count, now calls for the bell. He's calling for the bell, a disqualification. A disqualification on the interns, but somehow I feel they don't really care. All right, Calhoun, the referee, disqualifying this combination. Troy Graham arguing that they should not be disqualified. And wait a second, the ring's filling up here. And so the interns now suddenly deciding that discretion's a better part of valor. Lance, maybe we can take another look at that double pile driver that happened.
Do you believe one person doing that to another on this concrete floor out here?
Yeah, there it is. And you can, ooh, brother, you can see the way that the vertebrae was jammed. That axis vertebrae had to take a lot of punishment there in the cervical area of the neck. And I don't know whether they're going to be able to let him walk out of there or whether they're going to have to carry him out, Lance, but he appears to be pretty badly hurt.
Well, I know one thing for a fact, that they take a couple of young guys like this in here, Eddie Marlin coming out to check Steve over. They take a couple of young guys in here like this. They have great potential, terrific bodies. They've got good moves, Gordon, as we've talked about. And they end up doing something like absolutely, totally unnecessary. Didn't have a thing to do with what was happening in the ring at the time. And with an attitude like that, it sounds like the same bitterness that that you would expect coming out of Troy Graham, who obviously is very, very bitter. Okay, well,
I guess we'll be back in just about a minute or two.
Yeah, we'll check on Tim and see our Steve and see how he's doing over there. We'll take time out.
Self-service furniture is a new selling concept. Hi, I'm A.E. Long, inviting you to let us show you absolute proof of the lowest furniture prices. This Bassett sofa sleeper has been offered at other stores for over $500. Self-service has it for $288, a savings of over $200, and we'll pay the sales tax. Can you really afford to buy without checking our prices first? Self-service furniture, formerly discount furniture, $39.29 summer.
Bill Cosby for Coca-Cola.
I'm here in the Cabbage Patch with 2 friends I'd like you to meet. This is Chrissy Lee, very cute Cabbage Patch Kid, and this is...
Mary Kay.
Right. Now, this is the perfect place for us to tell you that you've got a chance to help the March of Dimes prevent birth defects and share the love with kids like Mary.
And you might even win your very own Cabbage Patch Kid.
Just look for this display where you buy Coca-Cola. It'll tell you all you need to know. Bye, Mary.
Bye, Cosby.
Goodbye, Chrissy.
Games and toys for girls and boys. See how much you save. Fill your house with Christmas joy.
The Dollar General way.
Racing cars, toy guitar,
A teddy just for Beth.
There's so much more throughout their store that sells for $5 or less. Like
toys that fall, pretty dolls.
A carriage for her, too.
Dollar General has thousands of toys for $5 or less.
Hey, Christmas fun for everyone.
Shelves and shelves galore. For your dollar, still a dollar at your Dollar General store.
Levy used auto parts can save you money. Most parts sell for 50 to 70% less than new parts, for example. Most heater blower motors are just $10 each. Most heater cores are $20. And most auto radiators, $40. All parts are fully guaranteed, or get a cash refund on return parts with receipt. At Levy Auto Parts, 2 locations, 1720 North Thomas at Levy Road and 2125 Personate Airways. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Open on Saturday from 8 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon.
Well, they brought out a stretcher now for Steve Constant, and they're being exceptionally careful as how they handle him. The cervical area of the neck, I'm afraid, has been pretty badly jammed.
And one of the prime things they must do is cut down the movement as best they can on it. They've got young Steve Constance on the stretcher now, and they're trying to adjust him. They've got him outside of the ring. And I think that you can see when you look back at a pile driver. Uh-oh, look out.
Oh, wait a minute. Just a minute. Oh, brother, these interns, brother, I'll tell you what.
Sadistic is all it is.
They are likely suspects for, well, Eddie Marlin trying to restore order over there, and I'll tell you what, I have seen some wild men in my life, but these interns must have absorbed a lot of the bitterness that Troy Graham has in his body.
Boy, I'll tell you, you can feel that venom flowing right through them. Anybody that come out there, here's a guy that's hurt, seriously hurt, jammed his neck with that weight piling right down on top of him. They come out and dump him off a stretcher right like that. Yeah, well, I'll tell you.
This may mean hospitalization for Steve Constant. I feel very definitely. Yeah, you can see the intense pain coursing across his face as, again, they're going to have to get him back on the stretcher. The first pile driver was bad enough, but of course when he took that second pile driver, you'll see here what we're talking about in slow motion. The intern brought him up. Now watch the way he comes down this time as the intern goes backwards, and you could see there that Steve was in tremendous pain.
Full weight right in behind, jamming it down, and that's why that particular move is outlawed in a lot of states, Gordon.
Precisely. I guess that one particular hold has put more wrestlers out of the sport than anyone known. Both the axis and the atlas vertebrae are the ones that really take the full measure of impact on that. And, well, I certainly hope the young man...
One of the measures that the only way some of these guys can survive is the way they work out and do the endless neck bridges and all to strengthen that area in there. But even so, with a situation jamming it down, boy, yeah, that is really bad.
Tell you what, let's go and take a look right now. As Lance mentioned at the beginning of the program, we're going to be seeing the fabulous ones, and very, very special on them right now. So let's take a look at this video.
A little levity right there with the fabulous ones, Stan and Steve. They are something else. There's no question about it.
There sure is. You know, Steve's dad was a POW in Vietnam for 7.5 years.
Yeah, he really was. Quite a record. Well, okay, Tim.
I got something I want to say here.
Yeah.
We're new in this professional wrestling. We didn't have any idea that there were people in professional wrestling that would deliberately try to permanently injure you or hurt you to the point of not being able to recuperate. But I want to say this. These people don't know Steve Constant. I do. He's a lot of man. And when he gets over this, he'll be back. And he's heck to pay. And I'm going to be there and make sure that it's all paid in full. Thank you.
Okay, Tim.
That has to be a very disillusioning moment for Tim Ashley and Steve Constant to realize just exactly how vicious some of these men can be.
Yeah, we've talked about it before, Gordon, a lot of times off the camera when we're just sitting around talking about how these guys come out of a disciplined amateur athletic background. They get into the pro wrestling, they see the money that's available, and they run across guys like this, and they get a whole different outlook and perspective on what professional wrestling is and what they're going to have to be.
They sure have. I will say one thing, though. However, the interns have certainly made their presence felt here in no uncertain terms, and we'll be back with more action after we pause for these words.
For a new truck? Want a good price? Want a 1985 model? Don't worry, your GMC truck team has plenty of 85 GMC trucks to choose from. S15 pickups, full-size pickups, Suburbans, and four-wheel drive Jimmys. 85 models on our lots and ready to go. Now what about price? We'll take a look at this 1985 S15 short bed two-wheel drive pickup truck. It has the same base price as 84 model, not one nickel more. 1985 GMC trucks available now at Foster, Pryor, Marriott, Hudson, Rook, and General Truck, your GMC truck team's son.
Let me see. Dear Santa, this year my husband wants a big stereo, but I don't have enough money to buy him one. No problem. Champion TV has stereos from Pioneer, Techniques, and Fisher with power up to 100 watts per channel. And a little money goes a long way at Champion. There's no security deposit, no credit hassles, and you get on-the-spot approval. Isn't that right, elves?
Right, Santa.
Rent to own from Champion this Christmas.
I remember one time I was getting myself a little snack at this Fina station in Orlando, and this Fina fella there, he asked, how come I happen to be such a Fina fan? So I tell him it's real simple. They're good people, good products, and no ridiculous claims. So he chokes up real convincing, and he says, now that's just beautiful, Mel, and all this time, I thought you was getting paid. They're my kind of folks at Fina.
Presenting a holiday greeting from Taco Bell. Throughout the year, you've come to know our many crunches well. And now we make our crunch a gift with this card at Taco Bell. It's our free Taco Bell holiday greeting card with over $4 in savings on your favorite crunches. From all of us, come share the crunch. It's free at Taco Bell.
A few minutes ago, we sort of captured a little piece of the lifestyle of the fabulous ones, Stan Lane and Steve Kern. Thought it might be interesting right now to hear some comments from these two fellows. They're great, great athletes, great competitors, and as you could hear by the fans here at the Television Sports Arena, they're more than ready to hear from them. So let's listen to these comments now from the fabulous ones.
You know, whenever we go to Memphis, we get a real warm welcome. You know, we've been in a lot of cold weather lately, and it gets pretty tiring getting out there and putting them snowshoes on, traipsing around in this snow. It's really nice to look forward to coming home. Well, you Memphis, we're coming home, and we're bringing those Southern titles with us. Troy Graham, you've been a lot of things down there, but you're just like old water down there. It's time for them to be switched. And I'll tell you one thing. You think you're going to get them Southern titles without a fight. You got another thing coming.
Let me say this, Ken. You know, the Fabs right now are in the top shape. We travel all over the country, about 4 or 5 days a week from coast to coast, border to border. One of our favorite places of all in all the world, though, is the Memphis, Tennessee area. The greatest fans in the world. Looking forward to coming there, down that warm weather, I hope. And as far as the interns go, we don't know a whole lot about them, but anytime they're backed by a guy like the Dream Machine, who's now called himself Troy Graham, I think he was one of the fabulous ones at one time. He's done it all. But guys, get ready, because we are your champions, and we're coming. The belts are polished. They're around our waist. We intend on keeping them there.
Yeah, we had a lot of questions asked about, hey, what about the Fabs? They still got the belts? Yeah, you better believe they still got the belts, and they plan on keeping them a long time. They had them a long time when they had them initially before they finally dropped them. And there's Stan and Steve coming back, and they'll be battling down at the Coliseum. The Interns with Troy Graham at ringside. We'll be talking a little bit more about the entire card coming up in just a moment. It is a dandy of a card, and right now, here's a young man who had himself quite a night at the Mid-South Coliseum last Tuesday night down there, Jerry. You held on to the title. I had 1 million people say, how'd you make out with the Big Russian, and then how'd the mink coat go? And you got them both.
Well, it was without a doubt a big night. Of course, I was really happy with the win over the Russian after all the things that, you know, that we had heard him say. And then I was... I wanted to win the match, of course, with the... Thank you. I wanted to win the match, of course, with the mink coat involved. I wasn't exactly enthused about the way that turned out, but I was declared the winner of the match. And on Wednesday morning, I had to fly up to Nashville and met with Eddie Marlin. He took me to this... I thought it was like a women's fur coat place. You know, it was like a big, nice fur store, in other words. You know, and there's nice coats everywhere, and they're in there measuring me and all of this stuff for a coat. They brought one out, went almost to the floor. Beautiful, you know, without a doubt, a beautiful coat. And so what I did, I told, you know, I put it on, looked at it in the mirror and all of that stuff, and it was a beautiful coat, without a doubt. And I got to thinking, you know, here it is. It's almost Christmas time, and there are a lot of people in Memphis and all over the place who, you know, are worried about how they're going to buy their kids something for Christmas, and here I am going to be walking around with a $10,000 mink coat on. So I said to Eddie Marlin, I said, how are you going to pay for this coat, Eddie? What are you going to do? And he said, well, we'll pay on it each week out of the, you know, out of the profits from the wrestling from Memphis. And I said, well, why don't you do this favor? Because I'm really not much of a mink coat kind of guy, to be perfectly honest with you, Lance. I said, why don't you keep the coat, Eddie, and take that money, and as a little Christmas present all through the month of December, why don't you let the kids in the matches free? So I thought that was a good idea, and Eddie seemed to think it was a good idea. So what he did, he saved himself the money for the coat, and he's going to take that money, and any kid that wants to come to wrestling 12 and under with their parents is going to get in free all during the month of December.
Hey, a very nice gesture, Jerry. I know that all of the kids are going to appreciate that as a Christmas present from the king.
Well, I'm glad to do it, and as I said, I'm just not much of a mink coat kind of guy, Lance.
I was kind of looking forward to seeing you in that big, long mink coat.
Well, you know what I'm looking forward to seeing even more than that is about 5,000 or 6,000 kids down at the Coliseum come Monday night.
All right.
Okay?
Sounds great. Thank you, Jerry, very much, and a marvelous gesture. Listen, December is an extra special month, as a matter of fact. I got to tell you that it's not just the fact that because of the gesture of what Jerry just described right there, that the children under 12 will be free to the general admission section only, but also, and this is a great opportunity through the entire month of December, for the entire family to get together again and come down there without costing you an arm and a leg, because the general admission prices for the month of December only, now put that down and take advantage of it, will be just $3 a piece for general admission. So you can get the family together. The kids 12 and under will be admitted to general admission free. Everybody with a general admission ticket can pick one up at just $3, and by golly, that is a better than deal, and you're going to run across in most places. We hope maybe you'll take advantage of it, because you got a sensational night of action coming up. The opening bout scheduled to be Steve Constant and Tim Ashley. We'll leave it at that right now. Of course, Steve injured, and we'll get hopefully an update on how he's doing. The Dirty White Boys will be their opposition in any event. Following that, a single match. It'll have Big Iron Mike Sharp, who'll be going against Tojo Yamamoto. That'll be the long and short of it. Well, brother, there's going to be a whole lot of chopping going on in Big Iron Mike with that leather giz that he has around that right arm. Tojo's going to have to look out for it. Following that, a national tag team title match. You haven't had a chance to see much of the Long Riders. We will a little bit later today. But they will be in there defending the national title against a rugged team of the Macho Man, Randy Savage, and Lanny Papo will be his partner, his brother, going in there to team up to see if they can take away the national titles. A loser leave town match with no time and no disqualification. I mean, a major league piece of action here with Rick Rude and King Kong Bundy facing each other. Of course, Hart will be right out there in Bundy's corner, and I got to tell you, that kind of gives the advantage, if nothing else, right to King Kong Bundy. In a loser leave town, no disqualification, guaranteed to be a winner. Following that, Handsome Jimmy is going to be in there going against the Ugandan giant Kamala. Dave will be talking to him a little bit later on. Southern heavyweight title match. Jerry the King Lawler, who didn't talk about his challenge from Bob Roop. Bob, the national TV champ, will be coming in there, and he is some kind of major guy. Yeah. Whoa, all right. Our information didn't have that down. Lawler, is that right, Eddie? Lawler will be the special referee for that match? Okay. All right. Kind of changes the picture around there a little bit. We were talking about Hart being in Bundy's corner. Jerry Lawler is going to be in there to keep things absolutely even right down the middle as the special referee. Of course, Rick served as a special referee for him at one time. And as we said, it'll be Jimmy against Kamala. It'll be a Southern heavyweight defense. Bob Roop, major challenge right there to Lawler's ambition to become a national champion. And then the final bout will be a Southern tag title match when Troy Graham and the Interns will be going up against a team that has a whole lot more experience than Steve Constance and Tim Ashley. I'm talking about Stan and Steve, the fabulous ones. All of that action coming at the Mid-South Coliseum, 8 o'clock. Monday is the time, and we're going to be looking forward to you being right down there with us. Right now, let's have a word from Norelco.
Norelco Rotatract, the shaving machine that challenges the world. Every blade, every electric, in closeness, comfort, speed, and performance. Only Norelco holds a charge up to 3 times longer than any leading razor. Only Norelco packs 3 floating heads with a patented twin-action shaving system. Get it? And like it, or get your money back. Remember, only a Norelco performs like a Norelco.
A moment ago, Lance Russell was talking about Kamala, who will be seen in this area in the very, very near future. This man is known as the Ugandan Giant. He is one of the most awesome, fearsome competitors ever to hit the United States. We're going to take a brief look at this man, Kamala, the Ugandan Giant, right now, and I think you'll get what I'm talking about.
From Uganda, but Monday night at the Mid-South Coliseum, he's going to be running against the boy from New York City, handsome Jimmy Valiant. Here he is right now, going against the big Ugandan.
Hookah chaka, hookah chaka, hookah chaka, running bear through the backwoods. Yeah, and then I saw him, baby. It was a big black bear. He had no hair. He was jumping in the air. You know what, brother? It skinned me to death. And then I woke up. I was dreaming. It was my old lady. I was dreaming about my old lady. Uganda. You think the boogeyman, handsome Jimmy's afraid of you? Why, you big greasy thing, you. You know something, baby? I want to tell all my people. Woo, mushy. He was standing on a corner, had a feather in his hair. Yeah, young blood. Come on and get me, Jack. Me and you, come out, give me a kiss. Yeah, give me a kiss, Daddy. Me and you, Kamala, Kamala. Me and you, Monday night.
Handsome Jimmy, Monday night, Mid-South Coliseum. He'll be going against Kamala, the Ugandan Giant. We'll be back with more championship wrestling in just a moment.
There are lots of places to vacation, but only one Hawaii. And your 90 springs are alive. It's hotter than Jamaica, cooler than the Caribbean, friendly natives, bluer than the blue Aegean, bigger than Bahamas, more mystery than Mexico, sunnier than San Tropez. Gotta be the place to go.
For all the vacations you've ever dreamt of in one place.
Let the friendly skies bring Hawaii alive.
Hey, smell that fresh buttered popcorn.
Gee, Eddie, nothing can penetrate the stuffy nose.
This can?
Hall's mentholyptus?
Yeah, with vapor action. Hall's vapor action penetrates deep into clogged nasal passages to help your stuffy nose feel clearer, while Hall soothes your throat to help your cough.
Wow, that's great.
The popcorn?
No, the Halls.
For penetrating relief, get Hall's Vapor Action. And try sugar-free Halls, too.
Trade in your old bedding and help the needy. Restonic and Fleming have teamed up with this great Christmas offer. Buy any set of famous Restonic orthotonic bedding right now at Fleming sale prices. And we'll give you $75 for your old set. You heard right, $75 for your old set regardless of condition. Your old sets will be donated to charity. Nobody makes better bedding than Restonic orthotonics, and those Fleming prices are hard to beat. Plus, take advantage of special holiday terms. Fleming and Restonic are thinking of you and others this Christmas.
Hollywood. Hollywood hot. Hollywood hot tub. When you gotta get a job, why not work where everybody plays?
What do we do with sleeping dogs? Look how primitive.
Hollywood hot tubs. Getting into hot water has never been so much fun. Rated R.
Now showing at these theaters, under 18, not admitted without parent.
Well, we're still waiting for word as to the condition of Steve Constant, but I understand that he is receiving medical attention at this particular time.
Yeah, I think for some of those, Gordon, I would like to, if you'll pardon the interruption right here before we get on with it, I would like to remind him again about a book that I know that I have just been delighted with. This is called Gordon Soley, Master of the Ring. And Gordon has done a marvelous job of going back over the countless matches that you have commentated on and put it all together, and it's got a real flavor of professional wrestling, and I just love it. It is available. I guess the best way to say it is at your favorite local bookstore. Yeah. It's the best way to say it.
Meat is distributing it right. Well, thank you very much, Lance.
It really is. I really got a kick out of it, Gordon. Hey, right now, as we do on Championship Wrestling throughout all of the area that is covered, we try to feature a missing child. With the help of you, we're able to establish some of the children and reconnect them with their home. In this particular case, we're talking about Christy Lee Taylor. Christy is 16 years of age, from Memphis, Tennessee. She's 5'2", and she weighs 122 pounds. From Craigmont High School in Memphis, as we said, age 16, blonde, shoulder-length hair. She was last seen. She has been missing, I believe the date is November the 23rd, very recently. And the telephone number for anyone having seen or knowing the whereabouts of Christy Lee Taylor, area code 901-528-8400, 901-528-8400. Please continue your magnificent help on this child search program, and we are really thanking you right now and hoping that you will take a good look at Christy. And if you know anything about her, call that number, 901-528-8400.
You know, the situation with Rick Rude and King Kong Bundy is one that has to be obviously resolved. We've got a short segment of VTR that I think might give a little more background to the situation.
Yeah, that battling between Roode and Bundy is something else, and these are two powerful guys in their own way. Let's take a look.
Eye follows with several right hands and a whip. Oh, a power slam from Rick Rude. Jimmy Hart Jr. up with a referee. Hart grabbed by Rude. He turns around, Bundy nails him with Hart's cane. Now the 452 laying on him. This may be it again. 1, 2. He couldn't get out of it, and it's a win for King Kong Bundy in 8 minutes, 16 seconds.
Yeah, in that particular case, King Kong Bundy prevailed with a 1-2-3 over Rick Rude, and not without Jimmy Hart. And here is Rick right here with us. It's kind of a battle that you've got going on with Bundy, Rick.
Yeah, that's right, Lance. And, you know, when I found out about this match I have coming up, you know, as you know, it's a real big match for me, right, Lance?
Oh, no question about that.
And I found out that Jerry Lawler was going to be the special referee.
Sir.
And at first, when I found out about this, you know, I felt really at ease. You know, I felt I had a referee who could take care of business and call it right down the middle.
Right. Since Hart's going to be in Bundy's corner, that's an important thing.
Yeah, the odds were stacked against me.
Right.
Now I feel like I felt like it was kind of even now. You know, I called home and I talked to my friends. I told them about the match coming up, and they said, Rude, how can you be so stupid to trust Jerry Lawler after what he said to you on national television? But you see, I didn't hear what Jerry Lawler had to say. I didn't know how Jerry Lawler felt. Jerry Lawler made an interview before his match with Bundy, and he had a few things to say about me. And I got my hands on this tape, Lance, and I want you to play it. And I want everybody, and I want to hear again what Jerry Lawler had to say.
Well, boy, I'll tell you what, I don't really know what you're talking about, Rick, but if you've got that kind of an idea in your mind, yeah, let's see if we can fit it in.
Okay. And then you know where I'm coming.
Okay, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll take a break right now, and we'll see if we can't get this queued up. We'll play it for you. Let's take a break.
At Aaron Rents, the choice is yours. Rent the great-looking furniture you've always wanted, or rent your favorite electronics and decide later whether or not to buy. There's no risk, and the options are all yours. Aaron Rents has beautiful furniture, plus color TVs, stereos, microwave ovens, and VCRs, all at the lowest rental rates in town. Aaron Rents will even service your electronics free for as long as you rent, and you don't need established credit. Great choices and lowest prices are always yours at Aaron Rents. Over 120 stores coast to coast. In Memphis, call 365-7656.
Have you been injured? For many years, the law firm of Todd & Deal, licensed in Mississippi and Tennessee, has represented injured people who've been hurt on the job or in car accidents. If you have been hurt in a car accident or on the job, call Todd & Deal attorneys now, 522-1638. They're ready to help you right now. There's no attorney fee charged unless a money settlement or a recovery that's acceptable to you is made. Call Todd & Deal now, 522-1638, 522-1638.
The river view from Memphis just can't be beat. It's got it all, just like Oakley Cassie. When it comes to great deals on new Ford cars and trucks, Oakley Cassie can't be beat. Try a Sharp Tempo, just $63.83. A sporty EXP, an unbeatable $62.92. This top F-150 pickup, just $77.83. It's a fact. Some things in Memphis just can't be beat, like the mighty Mississippi and Oakley Cassie Ford. 2700 Poplar just can't be beat.
The cooling systems in today's cars are made with aluminum. But does your antifreeze protect that aluminum from the damage of rust, pitting, and corrosion? This one does. Peak Antifreeze and Coolant's unique patented formula helps protect all the metals in your car's cooling system, including aluminum. For the way cars are made today, you need the protection of Peak.
Get a $2 manufacturer's coupon for Peak at Honey's Auto Parts and Oil City, USA.
We're talking with Rick Roode about a match he's coming up in which Jerry Lawler is going to be referee. Rick, we've got the tape to the tape room now. I think you may have misunderstood anything that was said out here.
Yeah, that's what I told my friends when I first heard that. I said, you know, maybe you guys are taking the king wrong, but I viewed the tape, Lance, and I want you to take a look, and I want you to tell me what you think.
Let's go ahead and roll it and see what Rick's talking about.
That you know, I mistakenly hit Rick Roode with the fire. He was upset. He was justifiably so. It was my fault. It was my mistake. I'll be the first to admit it. But I'm sure that they're thinking in their mind that with all the things that's happened in the past between Rick Roode and myself, and with what happened in last Monday night, that you know, Roode wouldn't have any hesitations about counting my shoulders out. And they're probably hoping that they can get to Roode or somewhere in the back of his mind that, you know, they can switch his thinking and count me out, get the victory, and have to shave my head. My only regret, I know you got an interview from Roode. My only regret is that he's not here today. And before I finish, let's go ahead and listen to what Roode has to say.
Yeah, let's listen to Roode.
I know that the king wouldn't lower himself to doing something this hideous on purpose. Well, I think that the king wouldn't do something like this on purpose.
Now, let me just say this. I only wish Rick Roode was here today so that I could stand this close to him and look him right in the eyes and try to get a little read on the guy. A lot of the wrestling fans seem to think that just because two guys team up, just because they're partners, they're the best of friends. Well, nothing can be further from the truth, because you know the past history between Rick Roode and myself, and even though he and I have been partners last week, you know, you can't just throw that. I mean, that stuff is just not disappeared once it goes under the bridge. Now, all I can say is this, and I know Rick Roode will hear these words. If Rick Roode has in his mind, or if between now and then he gets in his mind that he's going to pull something a little shady or he's going to pull something a little shifty down there, and if by chance it were to cost me my hair, I make you a promise, and Rick Roode, I'll make you a promise, brother. You'll be a dead man, and I'm not kidding you. I'm not just running my mouth.
Well, you know, I think that's all past, Rick. I still think you're misunderstanding exactly what was being said in there.
Okay, now listen, Lance. First of all, he tells me he wishes I could have been there so he could tell me face to face. Well, there's a thing now that's called a telephone, and he could have called me up and he could have talked it over with me. He could have found out where I was. He didn't have to bring out all this dirty laundry on national television. Now, second of all, I don't appreciate someone telling me I'm a dead man. I mean, that doesn't make me feel too at ease. Now, I got a big match coming up this week with Kong Bundy. I got a big match coming up. And I'd like to get Jerry Lawler out here, the special referee, and I'd like to, you know, look him in the eye, and I'd like to feel him out and see where he's coming from.
Well, I can appreciate your concern because there's no doubt about it that you and Lawler have had some bad water go over the bridge, and it is a concern. But it's the same kind of concern Lawler felt. Here's Jerry right here, and we can get this thing straightened out, I think, right now. Jerry, it's, well, I think you know the natural concern. You expressed the same thing prior to your match when Rick was going to be a referee.
I do. I understand that completely, and I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't going to be anything that I had to worry about in that match. You know, I didn't mind you being the special referee, and I don't think you should mind me being the special referee in your match.
Well, there he is, Rick.
Well, you know,
he's being as straight as he can with you.
And you saw my interview, and I said I was going to call that match right down the middle. Now, why can't somebody take me for my word? I said I was going to call it down the middle. I call it down the middle. But I don't appreciate somebody telling me I'm a dead man, somebody threatening me. But look, I got a big match coming up this week, and you're the special referee. And so from me to you, if you mess me around, you're a dead man. Because you're right. Just because we're partners, we don't have to be friends. And I realize we ain't friends, brother, because you've done a lot to me in the past, and I haven't forgotten about it.
Well, come on, Rick. I think
that's the way it is, man.
Well, I think you've made your point.
Let me make my point, Lance. You don't have to try to make excuses for him. First of all, I don't like you sticking your stinking finger in my chest. And second of all, let me tell you this. You're right. There are a lot of things that you've not easily forgotten. I'll never forget, as long as I live, the day that you trotted out in this parking lot and took a baseball bat like a yellow coward and smashed in my car. I won't forget that, Rick Rude. But okay, what about your burn? All right, all of that stuff is water under the bridge, brother. That don't have anything to do with my integrity. When I tell Eddie Marlin I'll referee a match down the middle, I'll referee it down the middle. I don't like you. Maybe there are some people out here that like you now, but I'll just tell you the truth, brother. I don't like you, and I never will like you. But that's not going to affect my decision of refereeing the match. I'll referee the match and call it right down the middle, brother.
I think that's fair enough.
You did the same thing for me when I won the Southern title. I can't ask for any more. I'll do the same thing for you. It has nothing to do with whether I like you or not. Just like I said a while ago on that interview. There's a lot of guys that wrestle as partners that don't like each other, and I've been your partner, and I couldn't believe that I've been your partner because I never did like you. But because the promoter came and asked me to be your partner, I did it. But I won't do it anymore, brother, I'll tell you that. But I will referee your match.
Yeah. So you come out here and you tell everybody you don't like me, and now I got to have this man to referee my match. Maybe you're just a little bit jealous, Lawler. Maybe I don't want you as a special referee.
He's already said he's going to referee the match straight down the middle, Rude. Now, I don't know why in the world you just can't take it for the...
When I won the Southern title, I'll do the same thing for your match.
And just like you said, when you had a title shot, I'm telling you, you messed me around, and you're a dead man, because to me, you ain't nothing.
Don't put your finger in my chest anymore.
You don't tell me what to do, I do what I want.
Come on, Rick.
Don't touch me anymore, all right? All right, I'll tell you what, Rude. If you're really not happy about me being the special referee in this match, I'm not tickled to death about it myself. Eddie Marlin came to me, as I said, and asked me to do it, brother. I'm not doing it as any favors to you, because as far as I care, you can go take a flying leap. Do you understand that? And furthermore, just to settle any conversation, just to make sure that there'll be no problem, I won't referee your stinking match, okay? You just go out and get your own referee, because I'll tell you what, if I did, I would rather see Bundy stay here than you big jerk, okay? Do you understand that? As far as I'm concerned, Rude, as far as I'm concerned, and listen real close, you can go to hell, jerk.
Well, you're both losing your temper, there's no point in it.
This is a family show, Lance. This is a family show. He doesn't have the right to come out there and talk this way to me. Jerry Lawler has a big mouth, and he thinks he's a big man, and maybe some of these people around here think he's a big man. Let me tell you something, Lawler. You don't tell me to go to hell. I had a bone to pick with you before, brother, and you don't come out here and you don't humiliate me. Now, I might not have a baseball bat punch, but I could take care of business just as well.
Come on, Rick. You're the one that called him out here. Now, don't... Hey... There's just no point in doing that kind of stuff. Hey, come on, Rick. Roode grabbing a chair and heading out. Hey, don't start out that door. I am not believing it. Come on, Roode. Roode heading back out. This is a rerun. Gordon, I am not believing he did it with a ball bat. He's heading out there in the parking lot. Well, there he goes. Let me get up here and see him. There goes Roode out into the parking lot. There he is. He's looking around for Lawler's car. I can't believe this.
Wait a minute. Lawler caught him from behind. And we've got a Pier 6er going on in the parking lot, Lance.
Right outside the sports arena, and it's Lawler grabbing Roode. And I don't blame him for that, because he was heading out there to bash a car in again. Lawler and Roode out there pounding each other on the concrete.
Well, I'll tell you what. Somebody's going to have to bring this thing to a halt. All right, we do have some men out there now trying to get them separated. But you talk about a Pier 6 brawl. They're separating Roode and Jerry Lawler at this time. And, oh, brother, he's right back at it again. And Jerry the King Lawler not afraid of anyone, and neither is Rick Roode, obviously. And so...
Eddie Marlin out there, Gordon, trying to get things. I'll tell you one thing, it's going to take a bunch of horses to hold those guys.
Well, I can't say that I blame Jerry Lawler at all for, you know, he didn't want to have happen to his automobile what happened once before. And it was pretty obvious that that's exactly what Rick Roode had in mind when he went out there with that metal chair in his hand.
Roode talking with Eddie Marlin now, and Lawler, he's the one that called Lawler out here to tell him in the face, and it's exactly the way arguments just with folks get going. They think one thing escalates to another, and it leads to another. It should have never happened. We should have never had any kind of confrontation like this. And Lawler and Roode, oh.
Well, I'll tell you what, it looks like they got things pretty well calmed down right now, so we'll be back with, I don't know how we could have any more action than that, but we will be back with more action after we pause. The Long Riders, of course, are the National Tag Team Champions, and they are a pair of heavyweights that are to be reckoned with. I don't care where the challenges come from. These fellows have proven themselves to be the very finest in the nation. And, well, we were going to take a look at the Long Riders, but Jerry...
I think we better wait just a second.
Let's hold up on that, please.
Let me say something real quick, Lance. Rick Roode, you're real tough out in the parking lot when you got a baseball bat or you got a chair, and you're real tough when your opponent is going to be a car windshield, brother. But your opponent ain't going to be a car windshield when you mess with me from now on. I want you to remember that. Now, I said I wasn't going to referee his match. But let me tell you something now, brother. I wouldn't miss it for the world. I will referee that match, Roode. And it is a loser-leave town. And I am sick and I'm fed up with jerks like you. I would rather have to sit around and look at a big fat slob like Bundy and a little skinny wimp like Hart than you, Roode. So you remember it. Your name's on the dotted line. I'm refereeing that match Monday night.
Oh, boy.
I can't say that I blame him a bit in the world, though, after what Roode has done, and Roode totally misunderstood all of his comments anyway. All right, the National Tag Team Champions.
You were saying?
Yes, right. Let's take a look at this team in action, and you'll see exactly why they have acquired the National Tag Team Championship. Australian Tag Team match upcoming now. It'll be Terry Ellis and Frank Lang going up against the Long Riders, who are the new National Tag Team Champions, waiting for the Long Riders to make their appearance in the ring. And I'll guarantee you one thing, they're going to have a rough time of it, because Lang and Ellis are a very durable pair of competitors. But here they come now, the Long Riders. And that's the way they move into the ring. And they waste no time. They don't even wait for the bell. Moving against Lang, and now the bell is on, and
What do? You beat him up.
Off the ropes, it's Lang. Flashing out, catching the long rider, catching the second long rider. And so the long riders have got some problems, but now Lang in trouble once again. A headbutt that puts Lang back to the canvas. And so the long riders, those leather jackets and blue jeans, and they wreak their own kind of havoc in the ring. Terry Ellis caught now as the long riders completely dominate the situation. Off the ropes, Lang catches him. A good move by Lang. Makes the tag with Terry Ellis. Ellis moves in. He's caught with a boot to the midsection. Driven into the knee of the long rider. And so Ellis in trouble now. Again, the long riders, well, sort of a perfunctory tag, and then move back into the ring. Ellis in a lot of trouble. Here's the long rider. Long looping right hand that drives him back to the canvas. And those are street boots that he's putting to Mr. Terry Ellis at this point in time. Ellis in a lot of trouble now as he was smashed into that turnbuckle. And so the long riders completely and totally dominating the situation. Full body slam. And Ellis in a whole heap of trouble here. Off the ropes once again. The long rider drives a knee into that abdominal wall. Ellis coming up very slowly, and he's in a lot of trouble. A snap mare that takes him back to the canvas. And to a rear chin lock. And so the long riders in total and complete command. His time is rapidly running out on this hour of championship wrestling from Georgia. Lang moves in. And Lang has had a chance for a respite. They very quickly duck under, go behind. They smash Lang into the turnbuckle. They make the tag. Time continues to move away. And it is Ellis back into the ring. Long riders catch him with a high knee lift. Ellis in trouble now as they catch him again with a forearm across the back. Brings him up under that top ring rope. And he brings him over. Full suplex, and that is all she wrote. So the long riders destroy the team of Frank Lang and Terry Ellis.
And that they are the Long Riders, the National Tag Team Champions. We have a single match coming up right here on Championship Wrestling. It's going to be a one-fall, 15-minute time limit match. One of the participants in the ring right now. Here comes the other, accompanied by his manager and his manager's valet. Stepping up to the ring apron right now. Introducing first of all, out of St. Petersburg, Florida, 222 pounds, John King. Going against him at 216 pounds with his manager, Jimmy Hart, his valet, Jimmy Jr. Hot stuff, Eddie Gilbert, the international champion. This match will be one fall, non-title match, 15-minute time limit. Jerry Calhoun, the referee.
And so Jimmy Hart in the ring with hot stuff himself, Eddie Gilbert. Tell you what, Eddie Gilbert talks a good game, but when he gets in that ring, he wrestles a good game.
Yes, he does. I guess we have said it too many times, but I've been astounded at the fact that Gilbert has been able to keep that belt as long as he has. I know Eddie's a good wrestler, but he's given away a lot of size. But like you point out, Gordon, that son of a gun knows his way around the ring.
Well, he does indeed, and of course his dad, Tommy Gilbert, one of the all-time greats in the sport. John King in a good clean break, and Gilbert using some psychological warfare that time. Caught him with both hands into the chest. John King eyeing him, Gilbert on his bicycle backing way, finally meets him collar and elbow. Up against the ring ropes, and it is back leg trip now by one Eddie Gilbert. It's a John King back on his feet very quickly.
You know, Gordon Soley, what do you think of the international champion, hot stuff Eddie Gilbert, baby? Doesn't he look good?
He's an impressive competitor, Mr. Hart. He is indeed. However, how long he retains that title is problematic. Beautiful drop toe hold.
With me,
well
managing,
executed.
He'll keep it a long time. I promise you that, baby.
All right, John King watching his man again. Let's see what happens here as he gets set to square. Again, Gilbert sort of on his bicycle, but it was Gilbert painting well that time. A good reversal now by John King. Eddie Gilbert using the ring ropes to, on the break. Sort of a cheap shot by Eddie Gilbert, the international heavyweight champion. Gilbert, who many times, most always, gives away weight when he steps in that ring, has to make up for it in cleverness, in speed, agility. Beautiful vertical fireman carry by Gilbert has King back to the canvas. King, by the way, had a most impressive amateur record coming out of St. Petersburg, Florida. King brings him up. And Gilbert hung in there like a pit bull, and now it's Gilbert driving the knee into the prefrontal lobe of John King. That can alter your personality in a hurry. All right, once again they circle. And again, Jimmy Hart joining us here at the desk. And what profound words of wisdom do you have now, sir?
A lot of words of wisdom. I look at your little book here. It says, Gordon Soley, master of the ring. I am the master of the ring. Let me tell you something, Gordon. I really didn't know how tough it really was being the greatest manager in the world today. You know, we've been flying all over this past week, this last month, really. You see me on Atlanta TV, Channel 17. You're seeing me up here on this. Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert's been touring all over the world. It's hard managing the top contenders.
Well, obviously, anything that is worthwhile, I suppose, has to be somewhat difficult. Gilbert catching twice in the abdominal wall with that knee and then a high knee lift into the chest. Puts John King back to the canvas again. Going to make the kind of money you were making, Mr. Hart. Good gut-wrench salto by Mr. Gilbert. And your international champion looking extremely good right now.
Well, like I said before, you know, Gilbert's not like your typical wrestler. He does train, he does work out, and you can see it right here in the ring now. This John King's a young wrestler, but he's got a lot of promise.
He has indeed. A single ankle sweep a moment ago that took Gilbert off his feet, and Gilbert now watching him a little more cautiously. Squares off collar and elbow once again, and it's King. Bull back into the ropes. Referee.
Look, good clean break. What do you think, baby? Huh?
Yeah, it was indeed. He did. He was a good, clean break. I can't argue that point at all. The voice you've been hearing is that of Jimmy Hart. Leather breeches and all. And again, they square off. Gilbert now taunting King, trying to get King to perhaps charge in a little recklessly or carelessly. And if he does, that might be exactly what Gilbert is looking for. There you see Jimmy Hart trying to placate the crowd. King still waiting to... King being wisely cautious, not charging in there. Now he does. Duck under, go behind, and a good takedown by Eddie Gilbert.
Example of what you were talking about. He can wrestle.
Yep. Quarter Nelson. Trying to bring King over. He's got King in a predicament position right now. Good bridge by King.
I've seen John 2 or 3 times. He's a good young wrestler, Gordon. He's got good possibilities.
Certainly no question about that, Lance. And there he came out of it into a good hammerlock, and Eddie Gilbert, hot stuff, utilizing those ring ropes again. And he's rather infamous for using those ring ropes almost as a tag team partner.
Yeah, I noticed a little move he made in there, which shows a lot of the savvy well beyond his years that he picked up from his dad. When he had stepped out, the referee broke him. You see him make that move like a single leg he was going for. He was back out of the way, King was, but Gilbert always looking, and that's why he's been successful.
King jammed into that turnbuckle now as Gilbert has begun uncorking some hard right hands. Gilbert sets him high, vertical suplex. Let's see if he... Coming down off the ropes, but he drove that knee into the mat and rather than the head of John King. King catches him, a good forearm, another forearm to the side of the jaw. And so Eddie Gilbert could be in trouble here as King brings him off the rope. High backdrop by John King. And if King doesn't make any mistakes here, he has got the international heavyweight champion in a lot of trouble. Rolling reverse now by King, and Gilbert slips away from that. Got the pin. Excellent.
Still the international champion, baby. Hot stuff, Eddie Gilbert.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was a pure reflex action on the part of hot stuff Eddie Gilbert, but that's exactly what it takes. He knows instinctively where to go and how to go. Let's take a look at that in replay once again. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about, the great instinctive moves.
I like that, Lance. Awesome.
Now watch him as he comes off the ropes. Here's where King had him going, rolling reverse. Now watch Gilbert. Tremendous instinctive move, and he gets the pinfall. That's what makes him a champion. We'll be right back.
There are trucks you'd love to own and trucks you can afford. But when you're talking Chevy, they're one and the same. Starting at $72.95, Chevy C10, the best-selling full-size pickup in Memphis. Chevy S10 from $59.90. Nobody has a lower-priced American-built truck. With optional V6, it gets twice the pulling power of the half-ton imports. They don't even offer V6. C10 and S10 at your Memphis area Chevy dealers. Isn't it great to love a truck you can afford?
The Dallas Morning News, 3 a.m. You know this crew gets heartburn. And when they do, there's no time to stop. No wonder so many people take Rolaids, the tablet that gives millions 100% relief. Like a sponge, Rolaids antacid medicine consumes 100% of the acid required to give millions 100% relief. With Rolaids, you can keep going. Rolaids. Rolaids spells 100% relief.
If you're renting or thinking about renting a TV or appliance, listen up, because I'm talking about saving you money. At Central Appliance, we carry name brand TVs, stereos, washers, dryers, refrigerators, all your appliance needs at rates lower than any of our competitors. Why pay more? Call us. We guarantee it.
Central, we make living easy.
It's the moment of truth as Chris turns theater critic and doesn't like what he sees on the next Fame.
I'm sorry to let you down. Cleo!
If I had to do it all over again, I'd probably do it the same way.
Don't miss the best television on television. The next all-new episode of Fame. Fame, 6 Sunday evening on TV5.
Going to tell you about championship wrestling action coming up around the territory. First, though, I want to remind you that tomorrow at 11 o'clock right here on TV5, it's the Jerry Lawler Show. The King will have as his guest Gordon Solie tomorrow. Also, Troy Graham will be here, maybe an explanation about what he and the interns did today. Brad Armstrong also will be joining Jerry. That's the Jerry Lawler Show, 11 o'clock tomorrow, right here on TV5. Friday night, December 7th, championship wrestling in Blytheville, Arkansas at the American Legion Arena. The Macho Man, Randy Savage, will be there. Rick Rude also on the card, along with the Long Riders. That's Friday night in Blytheville. Saturday night, the 8th in Ripley, Tennessee at Ripley High School. You will see Jimmy Hart. You will also see Handsome Jimmy Valiant. Dirty White Boys included on the card in Ripley at the high school next Saturday night, December 8th. Sunday the 9th, Jackson, Tennessee, 3 o'clock on that Sunday afternoon. Championship wrestling time. This is Sunday the 9th now in Jackson. Another one of those super cards up there, as Lawler is included on the card. The Macho Man, Randy Savage, Ashley and Constant, Handsome Jimmy Valiant, all in Jackson, Sunday, December 9th. Friday night the 14th in Brownsville, Tennessee at the old Haywood Gym. Lawler and Valiant included on that card too. On Friday night, December 21st, there will be championship wrestling in Charleston, Mississippi. You buy your tickets in advance and you save $1. Sunday, December 30th in Jonesboro, Arkansas. This will also be on a Sunday afternoon. And coming soon, championship wrestling at Itawamba Junior College, presented by Jarrett Promotions. Don't forget, Friday night in Blytheville, Arkansas. We'll be back with more championship wrestling after this.
Introducing the Transformers Power Cycle. You can imagine a world of adventures.
Look, they're attacking the power plants.
The Transformers, more than meets the eye.
Time to transform into a robot.
The Transformers.
Miss! But I won't. Whistle away. Back to cycle mode. Hey, what kind of wheels he got? More than meets the eye.
the Transformers Power Cycle, new from Coleco.
Noise. Jimmy Hart, King Kong Bundy in here with us. Yep.
Let me say this, Bundy, to you, baby. I don't trust Lawler. I don't trust Roode. Sometimes I don't even trust Jimmy Hart myself. We're not going to be sleeping going to this ring. I promise you that, baby.
Let me tell you something. Did you see those two out here? I'm not worried about a thing. Because let me tell you something, Roode. When you got a match like this, especially a match with King Kong Bundy, you got to have your mind on one thing, boy, and that's winning that match. And it's obvious from what happened out here with you and the Thing, Jerry Lawler, that you got your mind on a whole lot of other things. So I figure the match is in the bag. You know, let me tell you something. I watched those two out in the parking lot there, Lance. I was driving by a playground the other day, and there was two little kids tussling on the ground. It was a better fight than those two had. Let me tell you something. Lawler, you take one step out of line in that ring, and I'll squash you. And Roode, get the U-Haul, because you're leaving Memphis, boy. Jimmy, it's in the bag, baby. You know, I didn't think Lawler had enough sense. I didn't think Lawler had enough sense, this stupid little redneck, to see exactly what a punk Rick Rude is. But obviously, Lawler, I didn't give you enough credit, boy. You got a little bit of a brain. You saw what an idiot Rude is. And I know, Lawler, that you're going to see things my way Monday night.
Well, I'll tell you.
We'll be ready.
Okay, I hope you're ready to get in the ring right now. I don't envy Rude. He not only has got Bundy at him, he's got Hart in Bundy's corner. He's got a mad Jerry Lawler refereeing. Okay, they're hopping into the ring. Let's go to the ring, and Dave Brown, baby.
All right, this match is going to be a one-fall, 15-minute time limit match. Introducing from Memphis, Tennessee, at 216 pounds, Jim Jamison. And from Atlantic City, New Jersey, 460 pounds, King Kong Bundy. One fall, 15-minute time limit, 10-minute time limit, I beg your pardon. Jerry Calhoun is the referee.
I'll tell you one thing right now, Lance. I respect young Jimmy Jamison greatly, because to give away better than 200 pounds going into that ring and then going after him head on, that takes a lot of intestinal fortitude.
Boy, he has got plenty of that, but I got to say one thing, Gordon. I don't think the outcome of this match is too much in doubt. Bundy is a major threat to anybody in the United States or elsewhere that climbs into the ring. And Jim Jamison, game as he is, he's just no match for the big King Kong.
Well, I think you're right. I don't think it's a question of whether or not he will beat Jamison. It's a question of when he decides to do it, that's all. Because Bundy is so big and so powerful. And, well, Jamison obviously trying to get more experience, and he just got caught. That hurts me. Now, that's got to be all she wrote.
Yeah.
It is. That is all she wrote. King Kong Bundy dispatching him very, very quickly and very easily.
You see him go for that 5 count, Gordon. I mean, a real hot dog in that respect. He insists that the referee counts 5 rather than just the normal 3 count that you would see. King Kong Bundy, he really pounded down on Jim Jamison. Tell you what we better do. Let's take time out right now. We're going to be back with more action in a moment.
How often should you have your brakes checked? As often as you have your teeth cleaned. And that's the point. Most people don't think about brakes until they know there's something wrong with them. By that time, the problem is usually more serious than it would have been with regular checkups. Don't wait for your brakes to tell you there's something wrong. Bring your car to Bill King's Braco for a free brake inspection. If you have a problem, we'll show it to you. Think of it as preventive medicine. The free brake inspection from the specialists at Bill King's Braco.
Hey, Ronald, know what time it is?
It's a good time to downside with Ronald.
Time for our tennis match? Nope. Time to start buying Christmas presents. I'm giving you-know-who a Ronald McDonald digital quartz watch. They come in red or blue, tell the time and date, and have a great-looking face. Thanks.
It's time to get your Ronald McDonald watch at McDonald's for just $2.99. All proceeds go to help build your Ronald McDonald house in Memphis.
When an insurance investigator is blinded in an explosion which kills his wife, he must learn to deal with his handicap while solving the murder.
Franciscus and Bradford Dillman in Longstreet tonight on the TV5 Midnight Movie.
Hi, I'm Charmaine Then from Buffalo, New York. Debbie Crane from Phoenix, Arizona.
I'm Galen Scamahorn from East Alton, Illinois.
I'm Yvette Merritt from Los Angeles, California.
I'm Paul Dufresne from Harvey, Louisiana.
These folks from all over the United States are the real stars on Wheel of Fortune.
America's best loved game show, Wheel of Fortune.
6:30 weeknights on TV5.
You know, we got some real critical matches upcoming in Memphis.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Gordon, we really do. We got Steve Constant and Tim Ashley. They're questionable on Steve in that particular case. Strong young fella. He took quite a pounding from the interns. If you didn't see that early in the show, additionally, they will be going against the Dirty White Boys. Then will be Iron Mike Sharp going against Tojo Yamamoto. We really hadn't talked too much about it, but we've got a national tag team title match with those Long Riders going against Randy Savage and Lanny Papo. That'll be a whale of a tag match. In addition, the loser leave town. Well, now, I mean, think everybody won't be out there for this son of a gun? No disqualification. It'll be Rick Rude and King Kong Bundy with a loser, and believe me, there has got to be a loser with no disqualification, leaving the territory, and Jerry Lawler is going to be the referee in there. We've had a lot to say about that one. Handsome Jimmy going to be in there boogieing around, and boy, you better be careful, because this Kamala, he is awesome. They use that word a lot. Boy, he is awesome.
Yeah, 6'9", 385 pounds.
Ugandan giant, big son of a gun. Southern heavyweight title holder, the King, Jerry Lawler, defending against a rugged guy. Let me tell you, Bob Roop, some kind of individual. Gordon knows him very well. He's a national TV champ, and Lawler, a big, big step for him.
Yeah, it is indeed. Of course, Roop is a former Olympian. He competed in the Olympics in Mexico, and I'll tell you, that's going to be a classic confrontation between those two.
In addition to all of that, how about this? Stan and Steve, the fabulous one. Yeah, boy. They'll be defending that Southern Tag title against Troy Graham's Interns. And I'd just like to see Stan and Steve get in a couple of shots for what they did to Steve Constant out here. So that's coming up Monday at the Coliseum. Remember this, general admission tickets, $3. Children 12 and under can get in free, and we're looking for you to get your tickets today until 5 o'clock at the Coliseum. All day on Monday, we have folks gathering in the ring for a final match with, I think we've still got a few minutes for.
We have indeed, and we're seeing the Nightmares as they move in. Let's turn it over to Dave Brown for the introductions.
All right, thank you, Gordon. This match to the expiration of time. Team with the most falls to their credit when the time expires will be the winners of the match. Introducing at a total weight of 465 pounds, wrestling out of St. John's, New Brunswick, Canada, Lanny Papo, and his partner from Japan, Tojo Yamamoto, going against him. Total weight 422 pounds with their manager Jimmy Hart, his valet Jimmy Jr., the Nightmares. A match to the expiration of time. Jerry Calhoun, the referee.
All right, one fall, television time remaining now, and so it is Papo moving out first against one of the Nightmares. Papo, excellent muscular definition and confirmation. Good block on that one, and crosses with a couple of right hands into the side of the jaw, and the Nightmare is having one right now. Tojo Yamamoto getting set to move in. Bottom of the chop coming off the ropes. Yamamoto. And you can hear those chops all over the television sports arena, Les.
Sizzle, boy. I'll tell you, that Yamamoto. I'll tell you, the first thing to go are your legs. The last thing to go with Yamamoto is that chop. Boy, he can still wing it.
No question about it. All right, the second Nightmare moves in now. The Nightmare catching Yamamoto on the side of the head. Yamamoto firing back, catches him in the throat, reaches out, makes the tag. Lanny Papo moves in. It's Papo exploding with a hard right hand. Papo now. An Irish whip into the turnbuckle. Papo charges in. The Nightmare ducked to one side, and Papo could be in trouble here. He is in trouble. That lumbar region of his back beginning to bother him. The Nightmare is getting some extra leverage that time. Reach over, make the tag. And here's a cheap shot on the break, catching him in the side of the rib cage. Time continues to wind down here, and it's Lanny Papo coming off the rope. Drop to the back of the elbow. Drop to the canvas. Nightmare drives in, catches him on the top of the head with the flat of the foot. Again, the tag is made. And they've got him in a full Nelson and catching him on the break.
We've got about a minute left, Gordon, in our TV time.
Now it's rolling reverse by Lanny Papo, broken up by the second Nightmare. And Jerry Calhoun chastising the Nightmare for that interference, and it is Papo. Beautiful backflip. Full arm drag and twist. Takes the Nightmare to the canvas. Reaches out, makes the tag. Tojo Yamamoto moves in. Yamamoto, a chop into the ribcage. Off the rope, Yamamoto caught, and that one has Yamamoto stirred up. And Brothers, the Nightmare reddening in the upper part of his body as Yamamoto is set to deliver the coup de grace. The second Nightmare comes in, and now the two Nightmares on top of Yamamoto. And here comes Lanny Papo after him. Lanny Papo delivers a high drop kick now, catches the second Nightmare. Time limit has expired. Time limit has expired. And there's the bell, so neither team able to score a pinfall or a submission hold. And so it goes in the record book as a draw, even though Jimmy Hart outside the ring holding up the hands of the Nightmares. They definitely did not win the match, that's for sure. Yeah. Victory tour, Jimmy Jr. Sounding off as usual. I'll tell you what, we've had a great hour and a half or a great hour of championship wrestling, no question about that. We've seen some great competitors.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say that we certainly have, and we had a little unexpected thing when Rick Rude and Jerry Lawler got into it. I thought we had that problem all solved and settled in there, and Rude wanted to talk eye to eye with Lawler. And then that son of a gun gets in an argument. Lawler lost his temper and had a few unkind words to say to Rude. And doggone, if Rude doesn't pick up a chair and start out in the parking lot, he's going to get Lawler's car again. He already got it with a baseball bat once.
Well, Lawler said he's pretty good going against an inanimate windshield, but if he wants to get some real trouble, he can go against Lawler. I guess our time is completely gone, so until next week, this will be Gordon Soley and
Lance Russell for Dave Brown, and we'll be looking for you next week. Until that time, bye-bye, everybody.
The announcers on this program are selected and paid by parties other than this station, namely the promoters of championship wrestling.